Wow, so Colorado continues. Colorado continues the momentum as they pick up quarterback Julian Lewis, 2025 commit. Guy turned 17 years old like September 27th. And before we get into the highlights, this is a massive get for Deion Sanders. This is pretty awesome stuff. I mean, Julian Lewis, he was committed to USC. He's a very young quarterback. If he was in the 2026 class, he would probably be the number one player in the country. And right now, he's definitely a consensus 4 or 5 star quarterback. And this is somebody who Colorado is projecting to be the future of their program and really the replacement for Shedeur Sanders. And it expresses the commitment that Deion Sanders has to the University of Colorado amidst, a lot of noise that he might, be attractive for an NFL, organization. So you see here Lewis, a little play action fake. The throwing motion is it's a really good throwing motion. And again, this is a 50-yard seed on a line, okay, from Julian Lewis. So this is his senior tape. So he's definitely going to show the best throws early. Really good protection. Footwork is excellent. He layers the football about as well as anybody in the class. That's his real strength. So what's interesting about Lewis is some of these clips look better than others. I guess that's kind of common for, a lot of different quarterbacks. Here there's pressure in his face. This football is accurate, okay? Thrown on a line, okay? So Lewis has strengths and weaknesses to his game. Not a lot of weaknesses, mostly strengths. Again, you see the ability here to move out of traffic, pick up yardages. I mean, Lewis is mobile, but he's not going to be a quarterback. He's not going to be a guy that runs between the tackles, but see how he can get out, see how he could scramble, see how he could pick up yards along the sideline. Like, he has really good instinct. Here, a little bit robotic, with our reads a tiny bit, gets out of the pocket. The word point guard is used a lot, with quarterbacks, but he kind of, embodies that. Beautiful layered throw here. So again, is the throwing motion a little bit like Jackson Arnold and Bryce Petty, like a tiny, tiny bit? It's kind of a winder, or it's kind of the throwing motion for his deep ball is at this stage. He throws it a little bit away from his body, but it's so efficient. So efficient. And again, he's only 17, so the arm strength, this is the strength of his game. This is awesome. This is total, when I saw this is total, baseball. This is total shortstop throwing motion. This is really exciting. This is controlling the football. This is throwing the ball from a different, arm slot and arm angle, and I really like that. So there you see him try to get out of a jam, make a little bit of a play, a little bit of twitch. There's going to be quarterbacks that are faster in this class, and there's quarterbacks that also have much bigger arms, in this class. There's quarterbacks that are going to have bigger arms than Lewis. But again, he's still growing. He's still the exciting part is if you put him in the strength and conditioning program, he's going to maybe pick up 10. He's going to pick up some arm strength. I mean, he's only 17 years old. So that's what's really, really exciting about this quarterback. But again, his arm strength, if you're ranking his arm strength on a 1 to 10 scale or 5-star scale, it's probably a 9.2. Where guys like Longstreet and St. Clair, even the kid from Mississippi State, those guys are maybe 9.8, 9.9. That is why, as a quarterback, he's rated as a 94 on 24/7, and I kind of agree because, if he's probably an inch taller and when he throws at like a combine setting, like sometimes the ball into the wind, it might die on him a little bit, especially. But again, he's younger. That's what you have to consider. He's younger. His footwork is really, really precise. His throwing motion is dialed in. And guys with Pat Shurmur, like he's going to hit these slants all freaking day. So he is so accurate. There's a lot of quarterbacks that have big arms that are not going to work out at the college level because they don't have the fundamentals of Lewis. So I really like Lewis. Like look at how he kind of goes through his progressions and his footwork kind of changes very quickly, okay? He has been trained from an early age. He was one of the best middle school players in the country. And for Colorado, like I really like getting Lewis. But again, if he's going to be thrown into the fire, if there's going to be breakdowns on the offensive line, he's susceptible to guys in the Big 12 that are 22, 23 years old that are going to come in and could really shake the confidence of Lewis. So I kind of like the idea. I definitely like the idea of a senior quarterback starting next year and letting Lewis develop with Pat Shurmur in this offense, let him find the timing. Once again, I think that Lewis could be getting like a decent NIL package here, but also Lewis is going to be thrust into the spotlight. And again, he is one of the most prolific quarterbacks. He reclassified from 26. He's had the spotlight on him for a while in the state of Georgia, playing at a powerhouse like I believe this school probably is. His touch throws are fantastic. He layers the ball, meaning like he can layer the ball to the outside. He could drop the football in the bucket. That's the strength of his game, is probably dropping the deep ball into the bucket. The other strength of his game is like a little pocket movement and throwing the ball with touch and throwing the ball maybe like a little bit of a like a shortstop. And I think you got to have like bigger hands to do that. I think that you got to play like different sports like football and basketball to be able to pick up quarterback instincts. Like that. He doesn't look at the rush. This is really good because if you honestly, guys, look at Shedeur Sanders, like in this offense this year, like I watched the Texas Tech game, like there's a ton of screens in this offense. So guys in the NFL, if like they might roll their eyes at that comment and say, oh, Shedeur can absolutely throw the ball downfield, and he can. But a lot of throws are to Travis Hunter. A lot of the throws are honestly screens in the Shurmur offense. And it's a very, very good scheme fit for Julian Lewis. He was looking at Indiana as well with Curt Cignetti, and that would have been, a decent place to develop. But, here I think he's going to see playing time maybe towards the end of his freshman year. And for a team like USC, like I think that you have Jaden Maeva at quarterback. Again, I think that Lewis should absolutely go develop, and I think that Shurmur like has attracted himself to quarterbacks out of high school because of how successful they've been this year. I like this throw a lot from Lewis. He could possibly even grow like another inch and a half too. Like his age is going to be incredible. His age is really, really attractive to NFL scouts, and he'd be, again, I think that that's such an added bonus to Colorado. It shows long-term commitment. But again, I love the idea of a senior quarterback. Like I don't love the idea of Lewis playing absolutely immediately because I think he still needs to grow into his body. And I think that the arm strength and everything's going to come. Man, you just watch him and he's so efficient. I think he's one of the most sure things I think in this class about a guy that can start and be very, very good. Okay, because I think that his mechanics are damn elite. the reason why he's not like rated with Sinclair, with Tavion Sinclair, even with Underwood, is those guys from, when they go to camps and things from a trait standpoint are taller and have more arm strength. So, and also like Underwood can break out and maybe go like 40 yards to the crib. But those guys too, like a quarterback that has that massive talent, that is just more talented than a lot of high school players, a lot of times that could be a boom or bust player. Because a lot of times you're just looking at traits and you're looking at a quarterback in a camp setting, where here we see game film and we see how he thrives in an offense. Like we see these things that people might say are little things about the quarterback position, but we see here like natural feel. Like he doesn't, again, like his feel in the pocket, like there's so many quarterbacks where this would be a strip sack fumble because the tackle gets beat. But there you see feel in the pocket. Feel for the position. Feel for, okay, I need to back shoulder this ball right here. And that might not happen in a routes on air camp setting for Julian Lewis. So once again, huge commit for Colorado, shows the commitment of Deion Sanders to the university, and very, very exciting news. Ironically, Indiana was involved with the recruitment. And again, for USC, I think both programs are making out well. I think that Jaden Maeva can absolutely be a quarterback at USC that can function for a year or two. And then Longstreet is going to be fantastic. And Longstreet's a very different quarterback than Julian Lewis. Like Longstreet, just the arm talent of Longstreet, he is more maybe developmental than Lewis actually in a lot of ways, but the upside is incredibly high. So I think that both programs are doing well, and for Pat Shurmur and this offense, like to get this player in this class shows the commitment to the high school recruiting ranks. All right. And for the rest of college football, like if you're a fan of college football as a whole, like Deion Sanders and Colorado being contenders in the Big 12 conference will be a factor towards the SEC and the Big 10 breaking off. Because if you pair Julian Lewis in a year or two with the best wide receiver talent in the country, this is a program that can beat upper echelon SEC teams if Lewis absolutely clicks. And that would be protection for the rest of college football and for fans, that the SEC and Big 10 might then entertain Big 12 teams in the playoff, because the playoff expires in 2026. So that's something to take hold of, is that Deion Sanders can save this sport for teams in the ACC, the Big 12, and the Group of Five if he's very, very good at Colorado. So teams like Arizona State, teams like even ironically SMU, if these programs continue to deal and can surprise, the SEC and the Big 10 teams, that's going to be great for the sport as a whole, keeping it together rather than SEC and Big 10 just running away and creating just like a maybe unfair college football super conference league. All right, guys, a lot to unpack here with Lewis, but again, you see the strengths of his game, the decision-making and all of that, and the footwork, so you see what Lewis is all about, okay? An elite-level point guard with touch that plays the quarterback position, that in the Shurmur offense is a very good scheme fit for Colorado.